Hello, this is going to be my VOD review over EDG and H2k. I'm looking forward to see if H2k can beat EDG because EDG's been playing pretty off this tournament, and maybe we can have an interesting upset. So let's get straight into pick and ban and see how these team comps are going to try out. Alright, we got a Thresh ban targeting Kasing. Kasing's a pretty decent Thresh player. Red side right now has to stay with the continuous bans of Gangplank, Mordekaiser, and then the last ban is they can ban whatever they want at that point. But those two need to get banned. So H2k banning Thresh, Thresh, Twisted Fate, and Darius. Twisted Fate, pretty normal ban. Ryu's have been playing a lot of Twisted Fate. Darius, just another top lane ban. Amazing J hasn't been playing too good this tournament. H2k is going to finish their banning phase with Rek'Sai. Guess they're trying to target clear love a little bit. But there's still too many contested. There's still two other jugglers that could be fit in this meta. Three. Lee Sin, Gragas, and Elise. So champions that didn't make it through this pick and ban were Kalista, Lulu, Gragas, Victor, Azir, LeBlanc, Ari, Fizz. All these champions are completely liable with both of these players' champion pools. With both of these teams' champion pools. So we have the Lulu locked in for Edward Gaming. And we got the Elise and we got the Kalista for H2k. So we'll see what EDG respond with next. The only thing they can go with is either Gragas, because Elise can really put some hurt into Lee Sin. So we're getting the Gragas hover from EDG. They're probably going to go with a top support as well. Okay, so they're locking their AD carry here. Right now, locking in the AD carry is a little off. It should have been a support jungler pickup. Reason being is because H2k already has their jungler and their AD carry locked in. I mean, yes, you don't want to give too much away at that point. You're getting... Deft is going to do better than Yarnan regardless of what he plays. Maybe he might lose lane, but when you see the Kalista that you're going to get, you're just going to want to lane swap it anyway. So trying to pick the AD carry just doesn't make sense. You could have went with Braum instead of picking up Jinx. You could have went with Braum. You could have went with Alistar. You could have went with Nautilus. You could have went with Morgana. So I'm not really understanding this Jinx pick, but I understand it for the whole team comp overall. The whole team comp is going to be a deft carry me comp because right now we got the Lulu, we got Jinx. But the whole issue with picking Jinx now is where if H2k can't steal Jinx away, and even if they did, there's still other champions deft can play. He could have played if they didn't steal Kalista. If they didn't pick Kalista already, they could they would have picked up Jinx, and I don't know how Yarnan is on Jinx. But then they could have picked Kalista for EDG, for Deft. So I really don't get why they were picking Jinx so early. Or they could have even done a Juggernaut. I don't know if EDG's practiced Juggernaut, have done it, but they could have had Deft carry in other ways. So H2k is probably going to pick up a top laner and a support. Alright, so we got Annie. Annie's going to be great for these team fights, but if there is a lane swap, she's going to be at a disadvantage. So let's see what H2k finished there. So they go with Fiora for Ottawamne. So right now, either Amazing J is going to either be playing Lulu or something else. As of right now. And the Fiora into Lulu I don't believe is a good matchup. I believe it favors the Fiora. So now we got the last two picks. Hovering to Kench and Braum. I would have liked to have seen Kench or Braum for H2k, not Annie. Annie does provide a lot of damage in these team fights, a lot of stun and CC for these team fights, but her level 1 through 6 is not strong. Her level 1 through 5 isn't strong. She needs her level 6 to be potent. And if the lane swap occurs, it's going to take her forever to get to level 6. So now we got Malphite and Tahm Kench. Once these two are locked in, it's officially going to be it's officially protect the deft comp. You could have told from the Lulu basically and the Gragas, but now this really just confirms it. So let's see what H2k finish up, what they get for, see what they give Ryu in this mid lane. A few things up. We got LeBlanc still up, Ahri's still up, Orianna's still up, Victor's still up, Azir is still up. He has a pretty big champion pool to pick from, and he is playing into Lulu. So he does have to match the wave clear from Lulu right now. So I would like to see either a Victor or an Orianna, just to keep up with this wave clear. Let's see what probably has Ryu play. I do like the Orianna. There's plenty of CC if Annie's able to land a Flash Tibbers or a Flash Tibbers plus get thrown back in and see how everything goes. So I do like the Orianna. Both teams running double teleport makes sense. Lulu and Orianna really don't have kill potential on lane. Malphite and Fiora. Malphite Fiora lane, it used to be Malphite would win this lane. Now it's kind of 50-50. I've seen where Malphite wins and I've seen where Fiora wins. Sometimes the Fiora just can't deal with the Malphite because he gets too tanky, and sometimes the Malphite just gets too tanky and the Fiora and just bullies out the Fiora. Or sometimes the Fiora gets too far ahead and the Malphite can't stand to be in lane with her. So let's see. So let's see what these teams, let's just look at the team comps real quick and see what each team wants to do. Alright, so right now, Prolly's team, H2k, that's a little weird that they have them on the wrong sides right now, the coaches. H2k kind of wants to, H2k doesn't want the lane swap right now. They don't want the lane swap, I would say. Edward Gaming wants the lane swap. Kench and Jinx, or Deft and Mako, want to be far away from Hjarnan and Kaseng in this lane. We'll see how that works for them. Amazing J into Ottawamne right now. It's going to be definitely interfered with junglers, and Pawn and Ryu are just going to have a farm fest. So let's see how the lane swaps, how the level 1 begins. There really shouldn't be level 1 invade shenanigans. It should be just straight lines of scrimmage, trying to figure out where everyone is, which we got. So I'm assuming that Amazing J does find them, and they are predicting the lane swap. Deft and Miko going topside, and we got Hjarnan and Kaseng going topside as well, once the top laners spotted each other. So really good mind games from H2k, just trying to predict where everyone's going, and same for EDG. They're just trying to play the mind games of where everyone's going to go. If Yarna and Kasing could get to this Gromp in time, this could really affect Deft and Miko. Oh, they stop it. It doesn't. It wasn't the end of the world for that, but now one minion. See, do they miss any minions? They don't miss any minions, so I believe Miko missed a minion. And they're straight recalling already. They really didn't want this lane. So EDG is just trying to get away from this lane. They're gonna. This is gonna hurt Amazing J a little bit. Just normally the top laners would be TPing down. A little interesting from H2k as well. They're not having Fiora come straight down. It looks like they're gonna try to do a 4-man dive on top side. Since they see Amazing J come, and H2k is not even letting Amazing J get close to the wave. Kasing kind of just blocked. Ooh, Kasing took a turret shot. Kasing taking some damage there. Heal popped from Hjarnan. Okay, so it looks like we're just getting a straight turret dive. Tom Kench really doesn't have anything to be doing bot side. After this, after they swapped and they saw Gragas walk over the ward, Miko shouldn't have been bot side. It wasn't really necessary. He should have just stayed top. And even if Fiora does TP bot, Deft would have been able to hold his own down bot side. So right now, Miko being bot side just doesn't make sense. So now it looks like they're just trying to get a fast push on this. The fast push for this is a little odd. Well, the fast push does make sense. It gives a really long lane, and you do have the Elise that can counter gank this Gragas. Gragas trying to get some, trying to pick up a blue buff since H2k stole his. So let's see who H2k gives this turret gold to. Me personally, I think they should be giving it to Otawamne. Just so he could really stay far ahead of this Malphite and just try to keep farming. So we're gonna get a gank from Lolex in the mid lane. A little odd. I mean, since it is a Lulu matchup. All right, so we got the turret pushing here. A little odd giving this to Malphite. I mean, I guess since you know they're giving it to Fiora, you want to keep you don't want to put Amazing J too far behind. But this whole team comp revolves around Deft, so I think giving this to Deft would be better. Deft right now with an Avarice Blade, so he's still trying to stay far away from Annie Callista. It looks like EDG is trying to do the same exact thing that H2k just did to them. Pawn really getting chunked out by Ryu. Ryu's been playing that Orianna. Well, Orianna into Lulu, it does favor Orianna a little bit, but both of them still have the same tendencies to do in lane and even after game. Even in team fights, buff your team, protect them, and provide some sort of damage. So EDG is trying to take over this top side now. It looks like we're getting a fast push on both sides. Both top laners kind of being lost in what to do right now. They don't want to take too much XP from the AD carry, but they don't want to. They still need to be at that respected turret side that they're going to be trying to fast push. So once again, this does hurt Kasing, like I said. He's level 4, and he really needs that level 6. She has nothing to do, really. She needs that, oh, she needs that level 6 for her hard CC just to land the Tibbers a little bit, just to land the Tibbers. The issue with that, the reason being is because her Q is, it's not like a Alistair or a Elise hit. The animation takes time for it to go. So EDG is trying to fast push this topside turret. Again, they're trying to push the next one in. They had to send, because they couldn't even send Kaseng up top because they had 4 people up there. So they need to send Kaseng, Hjarnan, and Odawamne up there. Or Kaseng, Hjarnan, and Lolex. Really interesting by EDG to keep fast pushing so H2k couldn't just respond with the Drake. H2k probably still could have done the Drake if they didn't send Lolex top as well and kept Callista bot side. So now it looks like we're going to go back to standard lanes, but just in long lanes. We'll see what everyone buys. I would like to see a Sightstone from Gragas, and I would like to see Boots from Elise. Once again, EDG H2k is trying to gank this mid lane. Ganking Pawn doesn't make sense. Pawn's used to getting ganked like this, and I don't get what you're going to get out of ganking Pawn. Pawn's really not going to be carrying this game. It's going to be on Deft, and Deft's having a great time bot side. Deft, the whole thing with EDG was they were trying to avoid this lane swap, and right now you got it out of this lane swap. So just go back to standard lanes and let Lolex keep the farm going. And try to keep Amazing J down. Fiora should be freezing this up there. Hopefully she is. The reason why she wants to freeze is because right now Amazing J can't really do anything if it's frozen. He doesn't have that. He's very immobile, and if Elise comes up there, it's going to be bad times for him. Clear Love staying mid from how many ganks have been going mid. I don't really understand that. I think Clear Love should be hovering topside. Blue buff steal for H2k doesn't really do much, but it does help. Amazing J finally able to get some farm now after it was frozen for so long. I would like to see Elise down here try to set up a turret dive since Malphite's not level 6 yet. And once you saw Gragas go that side, just give up this blue buff and dive the Malphite. Get Fiora going. Looks like they're going to get this for Pawn. Saying could have dove this right into Malphite. Elise would have been here. Cocoon. He was undecisive. He was recalling earlier. EDG is going to pick up this Drake, but that is okay. Right now, the way the map is, this is really... The way the map is right now, this is really H2k side, and this is EDG side. This is a little awkward since the lane swap is done, but the fact that Annie's roaming so much and letting Hjarnan free farm, well, not free farm, but not hold his hand as he farms, is the reason why. And they're still trying to gank this Lulu for some reason. Pawn's been playing really passive in lane, so he's not going to be doing anything. Right now we need to see some, we need some people bot side, red side from H2k. Once again, Annie's still level 5, really putting her Kaseng at a disadvantage. There's really not much she can do right now. She needs this level 6 a lot. So right now that Drake's gone, we should be seeing Clear Love hover northwest towards his blue side and H2k's red side, and he should be hovering that side just to keep Malphite safe because of what's going on. And the fact that you can kind of predict that we're going to be seeing a 4-man dive onto that turret. So we should be seeing Kaseng and Lolex go topside. Hopefully they can make it topside in time. It might be a little too late by now. It's definitely too late. That turret's down. Deft doing the Avarice Blade pickaxe attack speed build. I really don't like this build, but the reason I like this build because of why he's doing it. It makes sense. He hasn't been in lane with Callista that much, but he's trying not to get involved with this Callista. He knows right now his job is to just scale, and doing that makes completely sense. Building this Avarice Blade pickaxe attack speed boots and tier 2 boots. So right now we're EDG's trying to gank mid lane. They're just trying to just suffocate this map and trying to keep everyone out. Whoa. Okay. And he finally got 6, but he couldn't do anything with it. It took too long. And it's really hard to kill the AD carry of a Kench. The support of the Kench AD, the Kench just really messes things up for when you land CC right onto someone. He's just gonna scoop them up and they're gonna get out. So right now H2k is trying to siege this mid lane turret since they know Miko and Deft are bot side. But right now the issue is they don't really have hard CC to continue the siege. They already burnt the Tibbers, and so they really can't siege anymore. Only way they could siege is if they got like Odawamne went straight in with an Orianna shockwave, but that's still not really reliable. They need more follow-up damage, and they're going to take too much damage from the turret. So Fiora should be freezing this lane topside. She should be letting that push right into her. With that being said, H2k should be hovering bot side. They should be trying to do something against this Jinx. They should be sending Annie, Hjarnan, and Odawamne down bot side. I don't understand why Elise prioritized Sightstone in this matchup. Annie already has your Sightstone, and the way the match has been going, Clearlove really hasn't been ganking you. Right now, Elise is being out-farmed by a Gragas, which isn't good. So right now, Gragas has a full boots on her, and they both went Cinderhulk, so that's okay, but Elise should have not prioritized the Sightstone here and should have went into boots to catch up and farm. And because of how the map's being played, there's been a lot of movement, so it does put the emphasis on tier 2 boots a little more than what it might have if there was no lane swap. Now that Jinx left bot side, Lolek should be trying to get to either mid or top. Right now, mid makes more sense because we see Fiora is having no issues with Malphite right now. A little ward wars in the mid. The issue is when H2k want to siege something, they need the Tibbers up and they need Hjarnan there as well. Once they see Deft bot side, they should be really trying to focus this mid lane. They should be just throwing everything they have at it at this point. Pawn doing everything he can to wave clear at this point. The call was right mid, but they took too long when they were playing in the river. They should have, once they saw Jinx, once they lost vision of Jinx, they should have known she was going bot side, and they should have just went straight into mid, and they might have been able to get that turret if they had the proper setup. This Drake's gonna go straight to H2k. So many close to runs in there. Right now, H2k can finally get this turret. Maybe not. Nope. Okay. Malphite did burn TP and got a flank, but it's really hard to flank a good majority of this team. Shockwave whiffed. The issue is with H2K, with EDG, their wave clear is so strong because of Lulu. H2K should just be sitting like this for the next few minutes because it really puts, they just need to sit like this. It makes, EDG's life a little miserable right now. There's no reason for the AD carries to go bot side, and Amazing J is missing a ton of farm top side. And it's going to be pushing straight into Otoamne. I have no idea why H2K just stopped doing this. This was so nice. This was like perfect for them. Why? Alright, let's pause this. This wave is pushing towards here. That's going to take forever. That's going to take another minute at least. This is going to take another 30 seconds. You got this wave coming in. This wave's huge right now, so it's going to take another 5 seconds for it to hit around here. That wave's going to die in another 8. It's going to die in another 15 to 20 seconds. This wave's spawning. It's going to meet here. But at that point, you have to give up around in about another 10 seconds for Kasing to get over, for Hjarnan to get over there. So I don't know why they stopped it. And even if Hjarnan does leave to go pick up, Hjarnan could have left to pick up that farm, even if that dancing mid lane was still going on. And right now he should be freezing this, not pushing it. There you go. There you go. Go kill Gromp. There you go. Normally I'd say killing Gromp's right, but his jungler's kind of sad right now. Not respecting the Kench. That's exactly what happened there. The Kench not being respected. Really good play from EDG and just not understand. Good play from EDG, and it was just H2K not being used to playing against this Kench from what I can tell. I don't know if they've scrimmed against Kench or if this is or if they haven't scrimmed against Kench. So just good play from EDG. Now the game's starting to slope in EDG's favor. They finally cracked that mid lane turret, so the map's really going to open up. Lolux is just so far behind Gragas right now. Alright, so let's see. Let's see what's going on. Alright. Now that this turret's gone, this makes... Since now mid lane turret's gone, EDG really could set up vision control. It's going to be great for EDG. And H2K just need to just stay strong even though they lost their mid lane turret. Just keep the lane pushed, get some picks. Try to see if they can re-siege. Stop Deft. That's all they have to do is stop Deft. If they are able to kill Deft, they win the team fight. As of right now, they do. Or team fight when Deft isn't around. No, the timing of the Tom Kench ult. Tom Kench is like a weird Twisted Fate. Or an interesting version of Rek'Sai. It has the same idea that Twisted Fate can teleport anywhere, but the issue with Tom Kench is that he can bring someone with him. And he has this huge tanky force field, too. And his stun. No, it's not a stun, it's more of the consume, where that's kind of like Twisted Fate's yellow card. It's hard CC, but I'd rather personally get Twisted Fate yellow card than Tom Kench consumes, because you don't know where you're going to get thrown after that. So, the Tom Kench pickup is like a Twisted Fate, except there isn't really a hard counter to it, like in the support role, from what I can tell. Maybe just not playing around. Doing this lane swap was probably the worst thing, because that happened to H2k because of it. But overall, with this Tom Kench doing work for EDG right now. And so is Clearlove. Clearlove's doing really good this game. He may not have ganked too much, but he didn't really need to. He just had to out-farm the... He just out-farmed Lolex, and it just put Lolex in a really awkward situation. Because that's what Gragas needs to do into Elise. He needs to somehow out-farm it. And if her ganks don't work out well, then it's lights out for Elise. If she doesn't catch up and farm. Deft now has static and IE, and so Deft is in a great place. It looks like H2k is trying to gank this, try to take this topside turret that they were already given, but now EDG is just going to push right in mid. I think right now they're thinking there's going to be a Baron call. This isn't good for H2k. They got collapsed on. Annie getting thrown in and doesn't knock up anybody. Right now, Annie should be just attacking Baron. Annie should have attacked Baron way earlier. It's pretty cute if she does this. Let's watch. Let's see if when she attacks it and when she actually does. She attacks it so late. Her W procs it. The second she gets into here, she should just attack Baron. She already is accepting she's gonna die. So, attacking Baron here and getting into this deep part right over here, because it makes it the most awkward for them to kill her. I mean, yes, you got Ryu over there trying to shield you, but still, you're not going to get anything. It's just going to be annoying. And you're just being cute at that point. So let's see what H2k try to do. Now, this game's going really in favor of EDG at this point. H2k really missed out on some things. The lane swap didn't really go in their favor since EDG did really well did okay with it. And this fight right here was just not good. Annie doesn't knock up anybody. She goes into the one spot where people aren't. I think Deft actually gets the Baron to go off. Not Annie. So right now we got Athenes and Deathcap from both sides of the mid laners. Static and Static and Naive for depth with a Bam Scepter, and Callista has a rune on Zimborg. And it looks like we're getting a Bloodthirster out of Odoamne on top of his Hydra. So he's just trying to be the split push threat. H2k calling the Baron bluff and Baron bait and just pushing down mid. Face checking this is not a good idea for H2k. They just need to play with this Fiora split pushing into Malphite. And tracking the Malphite and Tom Kench ults. I would have liked to seen a Black Cleaver from Fiora instead of this the Essence Reaver. Now EDG's actually doing the Baron. H2k really can't get in there. There is a ward on it though. So H2k no. I don't think EDG sees that there's a ward. They just need to pick them off it and watch the Tom Kench Malphite timers. It's an interesting style. It's not like a Juggermore. It's more of a Jugger Jinx. But the difference between Juggermore and Jugger Jinx is a little different. The issue with Jugger Jinx with the Tom Kench is that it's just a different style of a Jugger composition. With the thing with Juggermore is it's more of a straight line. It's gonna go at you. With the Tom Kench, you kind of have this opportunity to flank now because you have Tom Kench, who if you get next to, it's a nasty slow. So at that point, it's not gonna work out good. If this opportunity of this Jugger composition has the ability to flank where Jugger Maw doesn't. And the passive from Jinx is kind of different from Kog'Maw, where if Jinx when Jinx gets excited, she's just going to run down the rest of the team with Whimsy, and her movement speed's going to be ridiculous, and especially if crits can be landed. So I'd really like to see Zeke's on EDG side. We do have Righteous Glory from Annie, that's fine. I'd like to see a Frozen Heart from EDG, from H2k. Or just playing around this whole Jinx Maw thing, this Jugger Jinx, and just have Fiora split push. Because the issue is, if they could kill Jinx, they lose. H2k wins, and putting Malphite back there, it just gives it just gives EDG another front line. So I'd really like to see this Fiora just split push as hard as she could against this Malphite, and really use their TPs correctly. Okay, so right now we still have the split push going, but the only issue is that neither of these top laners have TP. Amazing J will first, and Amazing J can stop Odoamne's TP, but it's not even up. But Amazing Odoamne cannot stop Amazing J's. And the wave clear from Lulu is becoming intolerable. And you still have the fact of Kench being able to pull like his Twisted Fate ult move thing, where he can bring someone with him as well. So H2k establishing Baron control now. Normally this would be great for H2k, but they still have to be worried because of the Tom Kench ult and the Malphite TP. So H2k is still not in a good position. Odoamne is still doing his job split pushing this in. He needs to keep splitting. Let Malphite recall and just split push. Let your team know that Malphite's gone. He's probably at base. They don't know where Lulu is right now.
Once Amazing Jay's trying to kill out Otawamne now. This is the issue sometimes with the Fiora Malphite lane. After a certain amount of time, Malphite just becomes too tanky and Fiora can't kill her. Fiora can't kill him. That's why I would have liked to have seen a Black Cleaver instead of Essence Reaver, or Black Cleaver instead of Hydra. Killing chunking Miko down doesn't really do anything there. Hjarnan going very aggressive here. Oh my, this is going to be a deft cleanup. This is like a pent of a Jinx. Nope, Malphite and Lulu pick it up. Fighting in the choke for H2k is not a good idea. Normally you would say that to a team because they have Orianna, so they would assume fighting in a choke is okay, and Callista too. But with this team, with the Jinx is so far ahead. The Jinx was so far ahead at that point because of how long the game's been going, that Jinx doesn't really care. She's just gonna land rockets at you, and even the glitter lance from Pawn at that point is gonna hurt, and the Sunfires from Gragas Malphite. Hopefully, we get a replay of that. So the EDG is gonna close out this game. It just took one team fight for this to go wrong. Trying to catch out Kench was a little interesting. Right now, after all these once Hjarnan gets this far in, it's just GG at this point. Here comes Amazing J is just gonna come in. Lowlex is gonna land. Clearlove's gonna land his ult, and now Amazing J and Clearlove are both around, and you got double Sunfire. You got a Sunfire and a Bomby Cinder. I believe it was just it was a Sunfire at the time, just all up in there. You got double Sunfires going. You got the Glitter Lance from Lulu, and once H2k, oh god, once EDG protect Jinx and get out of there, Jinx is just going to clean up that fight, get excited, run through, and now this is just basically EDG is going to just close out this game from here, from how far ahead they are on Pawn, on Jinx, on Deft. So Deft's going to just take control of this game, and they're just going to close it out. Really, right now, what H2k are about 7k behind, and Jinx is just so far ahead. They really need to catch out Jinx, and no one has the capability to right now. The tank lane's too far ahead. They can't kill Gragas, they can't kill Malphite without Jinx eating the team alive. Right now, this I think is the best thing H2k can possibly do, is having Kazang split push, but it's still not going to work out. They're going to just destroy this turret. It really, H2k couldn't do anything after the team got too big, and after Deft got too big. After that team fight in the brush, in the blue side jungle. Things that could have went a little different is they needed to really either A, try to get this Fiora unkillable and put Malphite behind. Other things they could have done is put Malphite behind, or really try to focus this Jinx. And Lowlex really didn't do a good job farming his jungle. Gragas was out farming him. Clearlove played really well into this lane. Clearlove really did a good job, and so did Mako. Amazing J didn't really have to do much. He just had to live and not die. So that was that. Pawn did pretty well. Pushed out lane, didn't die in lane, even with the amount of ganks he was getting. That was another thing that was a little off-putting, the amount of ganks they were giving Ryu, trying to kill Pawn. If Ryu gets ahead, it doesn't really influence the game that much. Ryu doesn't need to get ahead. Right now, the laners that need to get... You don't need to get ahead on anybody, you need to set people behind. And if you set the Jinx behind, that's where all their damage is coming from. So if you can set Jinx behind, you win. So, I don't know what H2k was trying to do by setting... trying to set pawn behind. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed and got something out of watching this. I'll probably be making another video tomorrow. And if anyone has any questions about about the game that went on, feel free to post. Also, if anyone even wants me to do a certain game, you can post in the post below what game you'd like me to do or anything. So have a good day, guys. See you.